Hello, this is Marcello, and I'm here to give honor to an amazing vehicle that I had, and that's my motorhome, which I called Truck House. That's the official name given by me and my son together, and in this house, I bought this motorhome in 2012, and because something changed in my life, so I needed a house and I needed a vehicle, and so it was too much money for me to afford both. So I decided to purchase a motorhome, and this was the motorhome that I bought. I paid for this $800, and this is more or less last year, and a lot of transformation, and this is my artwork inside. This is what I had is in my backyard, and I'm doing this because I just sold this vehicle, and part of my also love and appreciation and recognition for this amazing vehicle that I really love, and this was parked in front of Washington Lake in one of the parks there. In some of my trips to the wild, and actually I was living in here from 2013 through the end of 2015, and where I bought my house. But actually I had to stay on this motorhome other 3 months because there were workers doing some modifications, and so I had to stay in here. And some of the inside, then I made some artwork in the doors, and this was the aspect of my motorhome. A few adventures, and one of them, I was living in here, and this was 2012, and also I lived for around 7-8 months continuously. I was working in a company in Sergio Woolley, and so I was carrying continuously my artwork, my paintings in the back, because I didn't have a storage unit, and continuously running that. And this was the way when I bought the motorhome, and then I painted my signature in the back. This platform was used to carry a bunch of things, a lot of things, and this was one of the last days I had the motorhome. This is my son when he was younger. He was around 5 years old here, and we had a lot of adventures on everywhere in this area. This was my home for a long time, and I really appreciate this vehicle, actually. And this was the last day I had this. I made this guy was the one that bought the motorhome, and he took a picture, and then I was filming him when he left. So I had once a head gasket blow up, and this is the motor when I changed the head gasket, and this was in a parking lot in O'Reilly store. So I parked in the parking lot of the O'Reilly, the part seller, because if I needed a part, I didn't have to walk or make someone take me there, because I didn't have anybody to help me with this. So I stopped the car in the parking lot, and I disassembled the head here on the floor, the head, and I had all my tools in my motorhome. This was 2014, and yeah, and I remember people walking around and see me doing this, and someone said, do you think it's going to start again? Well, I'm doing this because I think yes. And so it was 4 hours work, more or less. 4 hours work. It was a weekend, so I didn't have to go to work that day. And this is in one of my ventures with my paintings. I had to finish 3 paintings for a customer, and so I used to work outside. This is me driving around, and then in 2016, after several months, I ran this motor with this new head gasket. I didn't realize, I don't know, the temperature went up, and I actually blew up the engine. I mean, I was on the freeway, and I had to call AAA, and fortunately, I had every year I paid AAA for towing in case I had some problem, and so they picked me up, and we went to Tequila, which is a city south Seattle, where I used to work, and I parked in a mechanic yard. And so I talked to the mechanics. I said, hey, I'm coming with my vehicle, is blown up. So we agreed. I found an engine, and I bought this engine for $500. And actually the engine was pretty good conditions, a lot of good pressure there. And so this engine was all dirty, but I bought from a reseller, which they test the engine before they sell this. And so I paid $500, and since then this engine was an amazing purchase, was an amazing work, and I believe this was the old engine we threw it away. And from then I had this good well-maintained vehicle. All the mechanic work was made by me, except for this engine replacement, which was something that I needed tools, heavy-duty tools for this, and so I changed radiator, I changed batteries, I put new tires, I changed brakes, clutch, brake discs, everything. This is another one of my paintings days, and this was a little foggy that day. Yeah, it was a very smoothly running vehicle, and I did around 16 miles with a gallon. well, it was sitting there in my backyard, and it was getting, water and had leaks on the roof, and so I had to give it away. And so, but the new owner is very happy with how mechanical he is, and he is going to remodel this motorhome and give it a new life. And I'm so happy that this happened. So I just want to say sometimes, why I did this. Why didn't I find a job, pay a rent, and buy a new car? It was too hard for me to start all over. And so then, in the meanwhile, I rented in a place and still had the motorhome. Then I opened a store in Everett, Washington in 2013, and I decided to go live in this motorhome for a few months. And when the store started giving me some money, I rented a apartment. And after 6-7 months I rented the apartment, my business wasn't very good, and so I had to return to my motorhome. And because otherwise I couldn't work anymore, because in the store I had to pay rent, so I had to choose between my rent in my apartment and my rent in the mall where I had the store. And so I returned to the motorhome, and in the meanwhile business wasn't good, and so I had to find a job. And when I found a job in Tequila, which is an hour south from where I was, where I had the store. So and I continued living in the motorhome for as long as I worked there. And in the meanwhile, I felt people looked at me like I was a poor guy, right? Like I was a person that had problems in life. And a few times I tried to explain that, but I didn't care then anymore. I tried to explain that I could have paid a rent and be a normal person like everybody else, but struggling, right? And nobody knows that, but many people want to be normal, and a single person could do also some sacrifices. If I had my child with me, I couldn't have done this. But my child is living with his mommy, and so I could do this. The reason I say this with joy, because while I was working in Tequila in South Seattle, I said to myself, don't go rent, because you want to be a landlord. You don't want to be a tenant anymore. And I said to myself, I want to own a house, and I want to rent part of the house in order for me to grow. And now I'm living that. I am growing thanks to that. I have my house and I rented part of it. And this motorhome is something that helped me do that. Something that without this I couldn't have done what I did. Many situations helped me to accomplish what I did. But the reason I know that I was looking for solutions, I was looking for a path that gave me this benefit. And so many people thought that I was a person in need and with problems outside my normal life. But I explained many times that I have a plan. I said, well, I have a plan. I need to save money, pay my bills, and have a house, buy a house. And some of them say, hey, you gotta put your shit together. You cannot live like this. And I was thinking, well, I have all my shit more together than other people's that look like normal, right? and I said to myself, I keep going and keep doing what I need to do, and I did it. So thank you very much for what you did for me, motorhome. Thank you very much, Truck House. I love you so much, and I know you will have a new life, and I really appreciate you as a vehicle, as a you have a soul. Let me tell you something, you have a soul, and you helped me in this country, you helped me in the United States. I was living in you, inside you, and you covered me from rain, from cold. You brought me everywhere I wanted, and I took care of you, and you were an amazing experience, and thank you very much. Yes. Oh, this is me when I was also driving. This is me and my motorhome when I the first time I went to my house. This was the aspect of it, and then we worked together and paint this house. And this is me, my house, my motorhome. And this is one of the moments that I was loading water and cleaning the bathroom. What else? Oh, this was on a building on Seattle, and I was taking a picture of my motorhome parking there, in the parking there. This is me in an art show, and I used to carry all this inside the motorhome, and in many art shows I practically live there. And this is me and Cale, and I don't know, for some reason the picture here was backwards, and it looks like we are driving at the right side. Bye bye, Truck House. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye, Truck House. Bye bye. Okay, so this motorhome was for me, my house, for continuously 2 years. But I had this motorhome 5 years, from 2012 to today. And then in my back is my house that I bought when I said to myself, actually, you have to be a landlord and not a tenant anymore. So I said to myself, you have to live in this motorhome, not pay rent, pay your debts and everything, and apply for a mortgage. And I did that, and today is the day that I sold my motorhome to a new house, new owner, and they will remodel it and give it a new life. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, people, for watching this, and this is a step in my life that I want to share with you all. Sometimes you choose a path, and probably it's not the best, but you choose. Probably it's not the best. There's a better path, but you choose and make a decision and do whatever you need to do. And I can assure you that you learn a lot by doing that. It's all dependent on you. Everything depends on us. My happiness depends on me. Nothing else out there could make me happy. This is we believe that sometimes things, people could make us happy, but sometimes we have to realize that no, happiness, it has to be already inside. It has to come out. You have to realize, be grateful, and things start changing also outside. So, talk to you soon. Thank you very much. This is Mia Kali. He's a good boy. He's 9 right now, but look at this face. Look at this. Okay, I love him so much. Okay, bye guys.